Alright guys, welcome to this one. Welcome back to Wanchiko Sports. You can see the caption and also the thumbnail. A very interesting topic that we must discuss and also disclose. So in this analysis and also analyzing this topic, we are going to break down everything and also dish out exactly as long as you're a lover of football, gather here. As long as you're a lover of football, we have to check and see, because obviously I will tell you, football is dying. The game of football is dying. Like FIFA and Caf are actually doing things that are destroying this football. And for us to save football, we have to put out topics like this out there, analyze it, and also for us to be able to enjoy football without partiality, without the story of going behind the door or going through the back door or those things. We know that there are rules, right? But obviously the rules these days, we really don't know which rules they are following. We really don't know which rules these guys are following, because there's a lot of loopholes everywhere. So we'll take it one at a time. We'll just go straight to the point with facts, no biased mind. I would want everyone to open your mind. Just be open. There's no need to be biased. We just need to handle this thing the way it's supposed to be according to the football rules. I'm talking about the football rules. You're talking about the CAF rules. You're talking about the FIFA rules. Right? So in their own rules, in their own procedure, of which we know that things like this have also happened in the past, that there were significant examples that they actually took charge. So now we need to know if this FIFA thing or if this CAF thing is depends on who is actually the president. So we have to be sure, because I tell you, football is no longer interesting in this time. It's no longer interesting. The thing that is coming out of the organization of football is actually heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking. So we'll start from this one. Let's break it down and we see the part where we feel is not really clear and it's actually a bit biased. My opinion, the station's opinion, because now things that we expect that it's supposed to be is not what we are seeing. So let's just kickstart without talking too much, without deliberating too much on this. Let's just face it one at a time and also face the fact according to how it's supposed to be. Let's go. Alright. First of all, we'll be dealing on this verdict for CAF ruling against Senegal. So we'll take it one at a time and we'll also analyze one at a time. So let me just go through it, then we'll break it down the way it's supposed to be. The Confederation of African Football, CAF, Appeal Board has officially stripped Senegal of the 2025 AFCON title, awarding a 3-0 win to Morocco following a chaotic final on January 18th, 2026. The decision, announced on March 17, 2026, was based on Senegal's decision to walk off the field during a protest. Alright, so we already know that it's no longer in news. We know the news going around and what is so in the social media. Everyone is talking about it for the past since yesterday anyway. So the news came late yesterday, so we're actually going to check and see what actually are these guys doing. Yeah, we need to check what these guys are doing, because now it's no longer funny, it's no longer interesting. So they say the key details of the CAF verdict says the result overturned. Senegal's original 1-0 win in extra time was overturned. The match is now officially recorded as a 3-0 victory for host nation. So now, the reason. So the reason is that Senegal were deemed to have forfeited the final by leaving the pitch for over 15 minutes to protest a penalty decision, violating CAF petition regulation. So now, on the aspect of penalties, the Senegalese Football Federation (FSF) received a substantial fines, with reports indicating a total of $715,000 for fan and player conduct, including the walk-up. The FSF labeled the decision a travesty and a shame for Africa, immediately announcing plans to appeal the decision to the Court of Arbitration for Sport (CAC). So now, let's start. Let's check who is right and who is wrong. Is the law followed or not? So let's start with the result overturned. Obviously, we know when a situation like this, result overturned is always a 3-0. That one is not a problem. So now, the reason why they did this, that is the most very important. For me, in my own opinion, there are too much loopholes. And that is where the focus is going to be, which is the reasoning, which is the number 2 of the details of the verdict. Now they said Senegal were deemed to have forfeited the final. Senegal were deemed to have forfeited the final by leaving the pitch for over 15 minutes to protest a penalty decision, violating CAF competition regulation. So now, we all know that in most cases when a referee takes a decision on the pitch, most of the time it's never overturned. Like 99.999%, it was never ever overturned. Even if the referee is maybe later sanctioned or suspended or fined, that decision stays. We are talking about minor decisions. For an instance, an improper decision when it comes to penalty kicks, or maybe giving a penalty kick or giving a foul or whatever, that score doesn't change. Let alone a trophy in a final. So I want to ask CAF, what happened to that? We have situations where even before VAR and even after VAR, sometimes we know the story of the WAFCON. I don't want to go into Morocco bullying issue in African football now, but I will touch on it. I'll touch on it briefly before we conclude. Now, let me just reduce this so that we have a proper view of what is happening. So now, tell me, a final was played, Morocco against Nigeria. You're talking about the Super Falcons, right? The Moroccan team lost that game, and still Morocco went to court. And the reason why they went to court was that the penalty that was given to Nigeria, the Super Falcons in that game, was they checked it, but when there was a handball on the other side, the VAR didn't check it. So it was a problem to the referee officiating for not checking. He only checked the one of the Morocco, he didn't check the one of the Super Falcons. And because of that, we know all what happened to that referee. But the result didn't change. This is the part where I'm going to connect the dots for us to understand what is actually happening in African football. So now, the result didn't change. Nothing changed the result. The referee went through whatever he went through, whatever, it didn't still change the final score of returning of trophy. The same CAF president, the same 2025. So where was the rules? Where was the CAF rule? I want to say this to Patrice Mosipe, right? We love you. We see you're doing your best to make sure you make CAF to be a good. But this is the problem we face when we bring in politicians into football. For me, Mosipe is actually destroying all what he has already started well. He's actually destroying it. And there's no other factor but Morocco bullying factor. Because Morocco have the best, as in stadiums and everything now in African football. So Morocco, whenever they cough, something must happen. Even the impossible must happen. Look at what happened. The disrespect they gave to what was it called? To the WAFCON. They were supposed to host 2 weeks before the tournament. They are not sure. So, like, seriously, is this case the reason why they really don't host the WAFCON? When Africa is trying to, even CAF is trying to build African female football to get to standard, of which we saw. The previous one was up to standard. It was more than what we ever thought of. It was very, very enjoying watching. Now, at the end of the whole day, the story of through the back door is now destroying the entertainment of football. So let me not digress, but I know we're still talking about CAF. So CAF still, they're in charge of AFCON, WAFCON. So I'm just doing comparison because it's still the same board, the same people doing this to Senegal right now. So now, the loophole in this thing is that the referee, like I was saying, the referee have the right to take this decision on the pitch. The 15 minutes thing, I don't know. I don't want to go against CAF and their team or whatever with their decision. I wasn't sure if that thing was up to 15 minutes. I watched that game live. 15 minutes, I was not sure. Even I could see that the referee was over time watching, looking at his watch, like 15 minutes, I'm not sure. 10 minutes, yeah, arguably. But 15 minutes off the pitch, I'm not sure. Now, following the fact that there was a controversial penalty at the dying minutes, that penalty was uncalled for. So we know all what happened within the game between Morocco and Cameroon, Morocco against Nigeria. We know what happened. So does it, like I said before, is it like when you host the tournament, you must win it at all costs? Now this penalty we're talking about that caused this chaos was still given to Morocco and they missed it. I don't understand. They still missed that same penalty. In my own opinion, what CAF would have done is just leave this thing the way it is. Sanction your referee or suspend him. That is what you're supposed to do. It's a shame. So now, why is Morocco so bent to be given the trophy? Because they were the host? No, Patrice, I think Mosipe need to do something about this. This actually is going to destroy, like no one have ever experienced this ever in the history of football. This will destroy. It's already a shame. But if we can fix it, let's fix it now. It just doesn't make sense. Like seriously, are you going to be asking the players to return their medals? Returning their medals? Like, how is Morocco going to celebrate this as a trophy? Like you won? How? If the referee choose not to do what he was supposed to do in the game, does not really mean. Okay, let's give an example of which is not exactly the same, but we're talking about still officiating. Bad officiating goes to players and also the referee, not the total outcome. I don't know, my opinion. Over time, we've seen that happen. Now, a situation whereby Lesotho in the qualifiers didn't know that South Africa was fielding a player, their talisman, on that game against them that was that had 2 yellow cards, he was supposed to miss that game, right? And that guy Mokoena, he was in that game, and it was only Nigerian FA that picked that up because they were in the same group. Now, this is the part where I wanted to say something. Are you saying when that game, according to the rules, if it is investigated and everything, what are you now saying to South Africa? Because what I'm saying, why I'm comparing this now is that we need to obey the rules, right? Now, if there are dirty jobs that are done, you allow you to lie, especially a very expensive one like this. For me, I don't know of any other people. The African winner to me is Senegal. Senegal deserve it from day one. They were one of the favorites and they won it. Agitation, I'm not in support of leaving the pitch, but according to the rules, for me, it wasn't up to 15 minutes. FIFA, CAF didn't even give a better explanation for that in detail. Because how can you tell me a story of Cameroon complained? I think they played against Mali, they complained. Bad officiating. We are talking about from the knockout stage, very sensitive part of the game, of the competition. This thing happened. Nigeria also the same complaint. Now you go to Senegal, they also complained. And the one of Senegal was so, it was like it was planned. How can you give a penalty at that time of the game in a final? How? Then after all said and done, what now CAF is telling us they overrule whatever the referee did on that game, so they themselves are following the rules now. It is wrong, very very wrong. So following the build up that Morocco were angry that they don't want to host the WAFCON they agreed to host before, and with all this pressure, since they start hosting this, they have this sense of entitlement that they must win it. Are we talking about the laser light? What about the laser light? Even the one of the WAFCON, you gave the referee whatever you gave the referee, sanction or fine or whatever, but nothing was done to Moroccan fans on laser light. Now we know that even the FIFA is actually sanctioning on qualifiers, people that use the laser light. CAF, you said nothing. Even in this tournament, laser lights were used against other teams that played against Morocco. You didn't say anything. So like, are you now being bullied by Morocco because of infrastructure? Then it's better we play our competition in the pitch. Even if it's the secondary school or university pitch, we play there. Because you can't say because you host the competition, you must win it. Or you bully the officials, or you try to go behind and also bully the organization. So for me, it's not acceptable. I'm not accepting Morocco at all to be the winner. No, it's so boring. So boring. It just doesn't make sense. Patrice Motsepe, this doesn't make sense. I've heard they've appealed, Senegal have appealed, fine. Let them win. Let them win and allow the sleeping dog to lie. This is a shame. Very disgusting. It's not. It's a shame. It's a shame. To African football. Make the football recognized by the world. And this is happening. This is pure politics. This is not football. The only time politics should prevail in football is on things like the one I mentioned, players are not supposed to be that are not eligible. You're not supposed to kill the player with 2 yellow cards. Yeah, but like a game has been played, and we're talking about not just a game, a final. No, it's wrong. For me, it's very, very wrong, and it makes football boring. Like now, in Africa, we watch football, then we need to wait for one verdict somewhere. People must go and agitate. no longer played in the pitch. So it needs to be fixed. That's my opinion. For me, this is wrong. This is wrong. Sanction your referee if there is need for it. Suspend whoever, fine whoever, but the result stays. As long as it's a final, the result stays. As long as it's a final, it has a certain level of pride and respect and regard. So that's my opinion on this one. So let's see what we have on the next one. The next one we'll be talking about the verdict against Nigeria in their qualifier between Nigeria and Morocco and Congo DRC. So let's see what we have on that one. Alright. That one says FIFA has officially rejected Nigerian petition against DR Congo regarding player eligibility for the 2026 World Cup qualifier. The verdict announced in March 2026 confirmed that the original match results stand, effectively ending the Super Eagles' hope for backdoor qualification. You see now, this language is very, very wrong. So, you're talking about a backdoor, but what is happening, what DR Congo did is even a backdoor qualification for World Cup. Now let's look at the petition. Dismissed. The FIFA Disciplinary Committee dismissed the Nigerian Football Federation complaint that DR Congo fielded ineligible players, including high-profile dual nationals like Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Axel Tuanzebe. The reason is FIFA regulations require only a valid passport for the country represented because the players held valid Congolese passport and have received initial FIFA clearance. The protest, which was based on Congolese domestic laws prohibiting dual citizenship, was rejected. So FIFA standings, FIFA confirmed DR Congo as sole representative for the International Federation Playoff in Mexico, scheduled for late March 2026. Alright, so yeah. So looking at this other one here, let's see what we have So in addition, the eligibility ruling, both nations were fined for misconduct during their November 2025 playoff match. Yeah. So now we already know Nigeria was fined $1,270 failure to ensure other spectators throwing objects. DR Congo $6,350. Supporters use of laser pointers and electronic device. The NFF, Nigeria Football Federation, has launched an appeal against this decision, calling the verdict unsatisfactory. However, DR Congo remains in the official lineup for the upcoming global playoff against the winner of New Caledonia versus Jamaica. So yeah, that is what this one is saying, right? So let's do our analysis on this one. Let's do our analysis on this one. So now FIFA is telling us, right, that the disciplinary committee dismissed the fact that Nigeria failed a complaint that DR Congo viewed ineligible player, including high-profile dual and blah blah blah. Then the reason is that FIFA's regulation require only a valid passport for the country representing because the players had valid Congolese passport. That is the point where there is a loophole on this one. Now tell me, Nigeria filed that complaint. Their reason was they were not saying, the best of our knowledge of that appeal, they were not saying the players didn't fill or submitted a Congolese passport. They were saying at the time when the competition, when the qualification started, those clearance came after. Get me right. That is number one petition. Number two petition, the domestic law of Congo does not allow dual citizenship. So now, is FIFA telling us that, let's say, as now, like now that they give Congo the qualification right? So Congo can actually get another extra player with a valid Congolese passport, right? And because he came with a Congolese passport, you accept that person. So another way around is that, let's assume a well-placed person in Congo Football Federation comes out tomorrow in between this tournament and say some of these players are not eligible to play for us because they hold dual citizenship, and we choose to withdraw them and bring in new ones that have been around for a long time. So what will FIFA do? So FIFA will not accept because Congo said. Then that means we will go to Brazil and bring players, give them passports. That is what it means. Because FIFA don't care if you locally keep to your rules. That is what they are trying to say. Like, if you keep to your rules, as long as whatever you present is fine, then Fifa and Caf are destroying football. Yeah, you should just come out and maybe change these rules. Then we know there is no rule. One Ronaldo can play for Kenya. Yeah, as long as he's got a passport, original, from the government. So I don't know how FIFA is going to defend this in future. Yeah, because it's going to be very, very, very difficult. Because if you come tomorrow to telling us this petition and what it comes with is actually valid, then what are you going to do? Should people listen to FIFA? It will be boring. For me, I don't have a problem. Congo is Africa, Nigeria is Africa, but my problem is, what about the football? The lifespan of the football. Following the fact that, you see, in my own opinion, right, I see FIFA trying to fix its mess. That is what I see. Yeah, FIFA trying to fix its mess, but they are not doing it well. Because take for an instance, you are telling us that these players were cleared, like it's Nigerian government that's silly that they don't have the facts right, that they were not, and they gave it to you. Now you are saying you dismiss, you never accepted, but you came out and made a publication and said to us that you accepted and you are investigating. So now, why did it take too long? If really you were right, if this thing you wrote in your verdict is actually the main story, why did it take too long to verify? Because if that is the case, it's not supposed to take too long to verify. So in my own opinion, like what people will say, oh, if Nigeria's verdict stands, what happens to other teams like Cameroon? We understand it's actually going to mess things up, right? Yeah, it's actually going to mess it up, but it's better is in FIFA. As an African, it's better is FIFA. If it is CAF, I would have said I wish this didn't happen. But this is FIFA. Why did it take too long for you to come out and say this simple thing you're saying now? That is to tell you, you found a loophole. Now you're fixing it, but you're not fixing it well. Because it's going to affect the future. How long does it take to confirm a passport and when it was issued? If Nigeria is saying it was issued after, not before. The date of a passport is there in a passport. Why did it take forever? And you say you're investigating. Then on the other side of the story, I don't know how genuine that is. They're saying the Nigerian Football Federation were supposed to pay a certain amount in dollars to accompany the appeal, that they didn't attach it. But I don't believe that story, because you came out and told us that the appeal has been made and you've accepted it and you are investigating. So if it was not paid for, what were you investigating? Why do you swing into action to investigate? So for me, it's boring. FIFA and Caf are destroying football. I'm telling you, it's wrong. For a football fanatics, it's very, very, very heartbreaking. It looks like a double standard. So I don't know what Infantino and Mosipe is doing to football. I don't know. So for me, this verdict is not, there are too many loopholes. And we know whether they are appealing or not. Senegal appealing or Nigeria appealing. Appeal is the one thing. Like, once you lose targets, you lost it. If you just miss that target, you lost it. But the thing is, whether they win or not, we want the football to be played in the pitch. FIFA should do their proper findings. Not just telling me somebody can just bring a passport and you accept it. They don't interfere. No, because that same nation can actually mess you up and make you look like you are incompetent. You should be able to verify a passport. You should. So now, what CAF was supposed to do in the final is what FIFA is doing against the qualifiers now. FIFA is trying to fix, because not to mess things up, overturn the result and all that. Because it's not only one people are involved now. It goes back. It's not something that happened just in a game. So now, but they are not doing it well. But I don't blame them. It's very, very dicey. There's no other way out. The only way out is this. But there's no substantial evidence to back it up. So I don't know what Nigeria is going to do now, because this is my take, right? For me, this is boring. To CAF, please approve, allow Senegal appeal. You've already sanctioned them. Okay, look at even the FIFA. You're also making fines for laser light. What about the laser light that Morocco has been using for more than 4 years? Nothing has been said. Now, in order to romance the ego of the Nigeria, you're now saying you're giving Congo more amount to pay than. We know, when I saw that, I already know that Nigeria have an evidence. They have a case in this. Even when they started putting out the playoff, they just like politicians, they just really want to see the response of people to that before they bring out these verdicts. That is how politicians do things, and they're destroying football. A case is still on investigation. How many weeks to the playoff? You've not done your verdict. You are wasting a lot of time. Some of you have done long time ago. Even Jamaica came out. They were frustrated. They don't even know the opponent they are playing against. You wasted a lot of time. Now you came in between it without announcing your verdict. You start posting the pictures of the match, even encouraging people to go buy tickets. Like, seriously. So you're taking football lovers for granted. You were supposed to conclude on your investigation and your so-called verdict before you start talking about playoff. But you started doing that because we know you are trying to play with the mind of people to see, okay, let's see how they are going to react. The way they react to this can really tell if we tell them what we want to say. They are going to be quiet. So for me, a lot of loopholes. a lot of loopholes, and if these guys don't really know what they're doing, be it CAF, FIFA, they should just leave them because now they're messing things up. Football is dying. Football is dying. So I don't know if you have your own opinion, you can drop it there on the comment section. This is my own opinion, and this is the station's opinion on this whole thing. FIFA and CAF are actually messing football up. This case between Nigeria and Congo, and also Morocco against Senegal, is actually opening up a lot of things. For me, it's very sentimental and political, more political, and a bit of damage control. So that's my take. Thanks for coming around, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and